We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down. This defense for the Broncos, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
There's a little bit of lightning talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Now it's Herbert. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. You can look at this Bronco defense. Currently #1 in the NFL against the run.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game, because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you've got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. A first carry now. This is Williams. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
He'll look to throw. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Now a first carry here for their running back. Yeah, he'll be stopped at about the 38 after a pickup of 4. But you talk about the defense for these Chargers. They were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And the big thing for them was the interceptions. And you hear teams all the time talk about establishing themselves against the pass. You know, no-fly zones and things of that nature. This group had a bunch of them in last week's game.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now.
Let's go.
They'll look to throw. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Tui Pelotu got in and dropped him.
10 yards. Brings up 4th down.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 16. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And he's going to step out of bounds all the way down at the 30-yard line. 52 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field. Play action. It's Herbert. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one goes for 24 yards.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
On the ground, it's the rookie running back out of Miami. A nifty move on the run, but ultimately stopped short of the goal line down at the 2. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
From the shotgun, here's Herbert. Steps away to his left. Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete.
Boy, that was lockdown coverage there. He's scanning for someone to come open. But that was great work to blanket everyone. And in the end, he's just got to throw it away.
They'll run here on 3rd and goal. What a stand so far defensively. And now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
Well, we got beefeaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu, I'll tell you that much for free. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And this time, he is in.
Yes.
A great effort there. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got Dobbs over the middle. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. Dragon 60.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the 2nd half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a 1st down, pick it up, and keep moving.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Here's 2nd and 8. Flushed out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. They need 18 yards here on 3rd down.
Let's go now.
They're going to look to throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked up by Deion Henley. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
And, partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get the field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd. Back to throw here, Herbert. He's going to let this one go deep. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, you're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
Yeah, now you've got options on 2nd down.
And big-time options. You might want to think about play action and try and get something cheap right here over the top.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. Up to the 20. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this 1st quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
2nd and 7 from the 20.
Here we go, here we go. Warriors 70. Cup 19, Cup 19. Ready to go.
They'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 2.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going. It's been a good 1st half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control. As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
Out of the gun, Herbert. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And he's got his man out of the slot, complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 41. Herbert back to the air. He's going to air one out. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-0. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the third. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 39 yards there, a big one.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
60 Maverick, 60 Maverick. Ready?
Back to throw now on first down. And complete once again to Watson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And the Broncos are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Go!
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Javonte Williams, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos get a bit closer. Extra point right down the middle. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Charger drive about to get going. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Ray.
Hands it off out of the gun. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, Go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Hey, go Lion, Lion, Lion.
Right back to him on first down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. Herbert now. There's a short throw caught by Sanders. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred the defense.
They get 5, and it will go ahead and move the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On second down, they'll run it here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be third down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Herbert. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. The long drive last time out for this offense, Charles, if you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12.
Let's go now.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A gain of right around 30 on a play that began way back inside the 5. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Here's a second down and 7 from the 37.
Buffalo 18. Come on, set.
He'll drop to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, You can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And he's got it inside the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, he looked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively, just too hard to keep him under wraps, and delivers a big play here for this offense.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
As long as you've been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now is where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Broncos go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. Point after, right down the middle. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. There's a short throw caught by Sanders. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. 3 receivers head out right, 1 to the left on 2nd and 3. Herbert. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. They knew they had the free play after the penalty. They get great yardage, so they can decline that penalty.
And one of the things we've seen develop more and more in recent years are teams seeing that penalty occur and still taking the big shot downfield and hoping to gain the yardage as we just saw there. They practice it, they work on it, and this time they're successful.
A shotgun snap for Herbert. Sanders got it. Touchdown, Chargers. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Chargers will extend their lead here just before halftime. No problem there on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A good job in coverage there. They took away his top read on the play, so he went through his progressions and ended up settling on his running back who scored on their last possession, but the coverage held. It goes incomplete.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break.
Broncos 14.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff, and the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
Let's go.
Now a give up the middle to Williams. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Now they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Short throw caught by Dulcich. On the move past the 40. And finally down at the 32-yard line. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Fighting through it, he's got space. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Javonte Williams with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Broncos have got it back to within a score. Extra point splits the uprights, and they're within 7 now at 28-21. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Herbert. He's got his running back out of the backfield. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big play that time on the catch and run. 37 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Now it's Herbert. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The Chargers will bring out the field goal unit now. From the right hash, this from 48. And this one is right down the middle. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And we will not have a run back here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. A huge play there for Denver. 43 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
Ready?
They'll look to throw here. Short throw into the hands of Jordan. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Looking to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
A field goal try forthcoming now for the Broncos. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and this is back down to a 7-point game. So give him 3 on that drive. You know, normally you'd say, we'll take it, but the way points have been flying around, it feels like a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah, you just have to wonder, are field goals going to be enough? Because as you pointed out, the way touchdowns have been scored, does kicking a field goal actually put you at a disadvantage the rest of the way?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36.
At their own 36-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
21.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Fighting his way through contact. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 78 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he is going to lose yardage here. Play 3 of the drive now is successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Looking to throw on second down. Herbert firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And now it's 3rd and 4.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
3rd and 4. Back to throw. Herbert. He's got his target. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Go forward, 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 forward. 21.
From the shotgun, here's Herbert. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chargers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14.
24.
Here is Wishnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. So both offenses come to life here in this third quarter as this is shaping up for a good finish. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They give it to Williams, running right. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Second and 13. Finds his receiver, Watson. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Let's go.
On play action, they'll throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. Fortunate to get that football back because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
60 Bobcat! 60 Bobcat!
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to take another shot here. And that's going to be incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on fourth. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. The Charger drive about to get going. A real chance for them to salt this game away after that turnover on downs, holding a 2-score lead in the fourth quarter. 91 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be brought down right on the 50, a gain of 3.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important third down.
On third down, they're going to run for it here. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by DeMarvion Overshown. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. This defense just continuing to do their thing, and now they add on to that lead with another pick 6.
And how about the way they've played this entire game? Not only have they put their stamp on it, but every time they try and mount an offensive challenge, they find a way to thwart it. And multiple pick 6s, oh yeah, they'll enjoy watching this tape after the game.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go now. 19, Tiger, 19.
After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. Got Dobbs over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But they trim that lead down to just 2 scores. That's still a benefit to this squad.
Come on, set. Ready.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 8. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That's taken in by Watson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
So from the 26-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8. Again, it's Williams.
Boom!
Still fighting through tackles. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 79 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. I think here the score dictates you pretty much got to go for it.
But when you look at the scoreboard and you realize that 3 doesn't do you a whole lot of good in this situation, you're exactly right. Dial up one of your better plays and get after it. Forget the field goal kicker. He doesn't matter.
Let's go.
They're going to look to throw. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. He couldn't get the ball away on 4th and goal. And the Chargers hold tight down near the goal line. The Charger drive about to get going. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And he's going to get this from the 6 out to the 12. A pickup of 6 as they double their workspace. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And they will take a knee here. So this one's over. It's in the win column for the LA Chargers. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they?